Hi everyone and welcome to First and Cedar Knitting. My name is Megan and I am coming to you from Denver, Colorado, and on today's episode it's not going to be a regular podcast. I actually have, and you saw the title page, so you know what's coming. I have 5 patterns that I saw while I was doing some online window shopping for Christmas sweaters. And the thought came to me, I can do that for myself. Like, I can make that. So I went on Ravelry and I found patterns that reminded me of the sweaters that I found in the store, and yarn, and I'm here to share that with you. So yeah, if you like this kind of content, as related to knitting, crochet, and some sewing, don't forget to like and subscribe, and yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so for the first sweater that I saw when I was doing some window shopping, I was on the American Eagle website and they have a bunch of sweaters, and there's actually 2. I'm gonna start with this first one. I'm gonna put it up here. And it is a all over colorwork type sweater. It looks like a circular yoke, but when you look at the sweater, it's actually, because they cut the fabric, it's actually cut like a raglan. I really like this one because with the red, it looks very holiday, but not super holiday, like not super just Christmas specific, just very winter friendly, and I really like that. I liked how they included some less traditional Christmas colors into it, like the light blue and the pink. The blue almost looks like bluish gray in there. And so yeah, so I really liked it. I liked how it looked with the color work and like the stripe type thing on the body. But of course I'm not gonna buy a sweater, and so I decided that if I was going to make this one myself, I would pick the pattern by Joji, Locatelli, and it's called Instant Crush. And I like the design of this one. It's also a colorwork sweater, and it is in a raglan fashion. Most colorwork sweaters that you see are circular yoke, and I think this one's super special because it is raglan construction. So this one is made with 2 strands of lace weight held together, so it looks like each color, she just held it double to create a DK weight yarn. And what I would do to sort of imitate the American Eagle one is I would change the main color to a bright Christmas red using mohair, and then the contrast colors I would do in just regular wool yarn. That way the red sections of it would have that fluffy feel to it, but then the other ones wouldn't, and then that difference in texture I think would be really fun and a really cute way to show it. So I picked out some colors, and for the red I'm going with Knitting for Olive Merino in the color Red Currant. And for the colors themselves, I have the yarn is Cascade Heritage, which is a sock weight yarn. Held that double for it in the color pink, which is called Tutu. I then picked the second color to be a golden yellow, and the third color would be a burgundy color. And then just picking one of those. It's 4 colors, so it doesn't quite have all of the colors that the sweater had. The original one does, but it definitely has 4 colors that make it Christmassy, but not just like extremely so. I also have selected Placid Blue to go in there and kind of be that like bluish grayish color to make it just holiday feeling, but not necessarily over the top Christmas. So yeah, if you were interested in buying this red sweater for American Eagle and you're a knitter, I would recommend you knit yourself Instant Crush by Joji Locatelli with these color selections. And of course you can switch up the colors and make it totally Christmas and go with like a cream red and white and add a little bit of like jewel tone blue for that one. So that's the first one. I actually thought this is one of the most intricate ones because it has color work all the way down the sweater. I think it'd be super warm and super cool. So yeah, that's the first sweater. Okay, the second sweater that really caught my eye when I was doing some window shopping, and it's also an American Eagle sweater, is this, and they have it in several colors, but I just picked this peach color for my screenshot that I took to be able to show all of you guys. And this is just a very basic drop shoulder sweater with a nice thick chunky collar, and then a little bit of texture going down, it looks like, and it looks very soft, very just easy, oversized one. And so if I was going to knit myself something similar to this, which I actually have, I'm wearing it right now, the pattern I would pick would be the Stick Seasons by Clow. And it is similar construction as this one that I found on American Eagle. And the one that inspired me to kind of pick this is a pattern done by someone else. It's in the Ravelry projects. If you go to like other people's ones, this one is called the Stickless Seasons sweater. And so basically what the knitter did here, because this isn't the designer's original one, she didn't do any of the texture on it. And I think that then it actually is very similar to the American Eagle one with the added details that you get, like this beautiful shoulder seam that shows. And for this, because I'm thinking like Christmas holiday type sweaters, I thought that if I was gonna make it, I would make it in a beautiful deep green color. So for the yarns, I picked, again, Cascade Heritage in the color Pine, and the Isidore mohair also in the color Pine, to be that perfect like Christmas green. And that kind of brings us to what I'm currently wearing, which is my most recent finished project. And I myself am wearing a Stick Seasons sweater without the pattern texture that they do, that she has along the top part of it. And I will show you the seam along here. Absolutely love this little detail of it. Show you nice and close. So yeah, I'm actually wearing my recently finished, already pilling, which is to be expected. The yarn is not the best. Stick Season sweaters. On my last blog, I talk about how I have kids, so it's already dirty. How I did the sleeves too long by, I misread the directions on the sleeves and added a row for the first set of decreases that you do on the sleeve. So my bad, but actually the sleeves are nice and long and I actually really, really like that. So yeah, instead of buying this American Eagle sweater, I would reknit this one, the Stick Season sweater, without the texture, in a beautiful Christmas green color. And there you go. You got yourself a Christmas sweater. Okay, the next sweater, I hopped on next from American Eagle. I went over to Madewell and was looking at some sweaters over there. And the sweater that caught my eye is this one right here, and it's got this, it looks like brioche, and I'm not a very good brioche knitter, but anyway, this is the idea. The brioche gives it like this like stripy effect, and this sweater also comes in several different colors, but I picked again the pink one because I feel like it showed the texture of the sweater the best. It's made by Madewell, and the sweater that I would knit instead of buying this one is also by Clow. It's another one of her patterns, and it's the Cargill sweater. And I actually like this one because the texture along the ridges is actually more detailed, and it's got those pulled up loops, kind of look like upside down hearts inside of each other, and I really, really like that. And so yeah, that's the one that I would knit instead of buying this Madewell sweater. That does look gorgeous, but for the same kind of fit and the same kind of idea, like the Cargill, I think would be a really fun replacement for that. And again, I would stick with either a red or a green. So I either use the same green yarn that I talked about in the last sweater, or there's also in the Cascade Heritage, which right now is currently one of my favorite yarns to work with. I made 2 sweaters with it recently. They have a ruby red color, and then the Isager silk mohair also has a red, and I would pick those 2 to kind of do the thing. And I absolutely, it's one of my favorite things about being a knitter, is being able to take inspiration from ready-made sweaters and make it myself. Like when I was looking at the American Eagle one, you know, they're trying to sell you the sweater by saying, look, a bunch of other people have already bought it. And sometimes that's great. Like if it's a product that I, you know, want to make sure works well, yes, I want something that other people have purchased and has good reviews. But when it comes to clothing, I don't necessarily want the same thing that everyone else has. And so that's why I think that doing this is a really fun idea. You get the chance to take inspiration from something that everyone else has, but make it completely unique for yourself by knitting it yourself. So yeah, instead of this Madewell sweater, and the silk mohair and the Cascade Heritage is fairly inexpensive yarn, so I feel like you'd almost end up paying a fairly similar price to the already made one. And yeah, you still have to make it yourself, but that's part of the enjoyment and that's part of the fun. And then you get this one-of-a-kind kind of sweater. So yeah, and now we've only got 2 more to go, and these are really, really pretty. I'm really excited to share them. So the next sweater that I saw online from Madewell, I didn't really see any other sweaters there, and I went over to H&M, and they have this colorwork sweater with bows on it, and it's made in a grayscale, so it's white and gray and black, and it's got that color work throughout it. Similar to the American Eagle one, it looks like a circular yoke, but it's actually, they cut into the fabric and it's a raglan construction. So yeah, I saw this one and it reminded me of a sweater that I had seen floating around recently. And the sweater that I saw and that I would knit instead is Augustins Northern No. 4 sweater by Anne-Sophie Velling. And this one is just absolutely gorgeous. It has more bows than the H&M one, and it still has some detailing on it. And drawing inspiration from the 2 of these, I would actually, let me pull it up real quick. I thought I was prepared for all of this, but it turns out I am, oh there it is, downloads. Turns out I am maybe not 1000% ready. Anyway, what I was looking for and I'm not finding is the colors that I would use, but I would pick a cream and a red color for this particular sweater, the red for the color work, the bows and the little detail on it, and then I would pick a cream, and I really feel like that would be a very classic holiday Christmas look. And yeah, that's what I would pick for that one, and I think it would turn out absolutely gorgeous. You could also buy gray and then get some black yarn and do it so that it fits. And I do believe that the Augustins 12 is like a worsted weight pattern, so it is a lot thicker. Let me look that up. Let me look that up. Sorry. Should have been more prepared. Okay, so it actually says yarn head together lace equals, and it doesn't say what it is, but it's 16 stitches to 4 inches. And so at 16 stitches, I really feel like you could do a DK weight yarn. And similar to the Instant Crush, I would kind of do something similar where I did the red color work portion with mohair to give it that difference in texture, and then do the rest of it in just a regular sock weight. I know Surella Yarns has a really pretty winter palette, and I would pick one of the neutrals to be the background for the sweater, and I actually think it would be absolutely gorgeous and really fun to wear over the Christmas season. Okay, and the final sweater is this sweater that I saw on Suzanne's webpage, which I've never really shopped there before, but this one's really nice. It looks like the quality of the sweater is super great, and it's made with kid mohair and merino. But once again, being a knitter myself, even though I have the ability to buy a beautiful sweater with the kid silk mohair and the merino, I would still choose to make my own. And so inspired by this sweater that I saw called the Nils Jumper, I would actually, and this is a newer release, it just was released in November 2024, so this month, I would knit the Acorn Pullover by Sari Norland. It is, I think, one of her newest releases, and it has beautiful lace work all over the sweater and all the way down the sleeves. And again, I would just maybe change the color to make it something a little bit more holiday traditional. And I really think if I made this one, I would take the inspiration from the original Suzanne sweater and make it in a green. And I picked those same greens from before, just that beautiful pine green and the Isagar silk mohair and the Cascade Heritage in the pine colors. And I think that it would be just absolutely beautiful. And when I was looking for this one, I actually stopped and looked at all of Sari Nordland's patterns without them being intermixed with anything else. And she has so many beautiful patterns, like a few that I hadn't even seen. And I kind of have been around for a while looking at all of these patterns. And so I was really surprised. So sometimes, you know, take the time, if you find a designer and you think you know all of their patterns that they've made, it's really fun to sometimes go and just look at their patterns and see if you maybe missed one here or there was an earlier release that really speaks to you. Because that's what happened when I was over looking at Sari Nordland's patterns. There were so many that I hadn't seen. I think she also recently published a book. And so all of those, I haven't really looked at the pictures because I haven't purchased the book myself, but they were on the website and I was like, oh, I might just have to buy this book to be able to have access to all of these patterns. And so seeing the photographs of them was just really, really neat. So yeah, so these are the 5 sweaters that I found in stores and the sweaters that I would knit instead as a knitter. And then I'd have a unique, 100% unique, one-of-a-kind garment to wear this winter/holiday season that we are getting into. So yeah, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this content. I will be back next week with a regular podcast video where I will talk about having finished my stick season sweaters. I've started 2 new projects that are almost complete, and we'll be able to show the progress that I've made on those. So yeah, I hope that you make it back here next week when I post my next video. To do that, please subscribe to my channel, like the video because that helps let other people that are similarly minded find my videos, and click the bell if you want to be notified whenever I post a new video. That's the best way to kind of keep up. So yeah, I just want to say thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.